Hello guys, and welcome back to Pokemon Trivia for September 13th. Now today we're going to be looking at the Clefairy family, so Cleffa, Clefairy and Clefable, and looking at some trivia facts about them. So let's get started. First off, we're looking at some stuff from Cleffa here. It's actually the Pokemon with the shortest Japanese name, just being P in Romanji. Now I actually found two spellings for Cleffa's Japanese name in Romanji, so I'm showing both of them now obviously, so hopefully it's as short as either way, so that's all we need to go there. And also, well, if we also now sort of look at the line as a whole, the brown horns on Cleffa, Clefable and Clefairy's heads, they're not horns, they are ears. Now this may sound strange to you because they don't look like ears at all. This is only visible in two cases. Now one of these cases is on the black-white sprite for Clefairy, where you can see it's sort of the inside of the ear is the same colour as it was when it was a normal form sort of thing, so you know, showing that it's not a round horn, you could say. Or in Clefable's black sprite for Generation 1, as you can clearly see a sort of an ear, that's sort of an ear hole that's sort of sticking out there. But apart from that, you can't actually see it anywhere. However, it is mentioned in some of the Pokedex entries already. For example, Clefable's, it says it has very sensitive ears. Well, it's acute hearing, so obviously it has ears, you just can't see them very much at all. Next up, we have to look at the kind of prototype names for the Clefable family, or Clefairy family, or the Cleffa family. The prototype name for Cleffa was Aria, and the prototype name for Clefable was actually Ariola, so very similar. Also, Clefable weighs the same amount as Ethan, which is the male protagonist for Heart Gold and Soul Silver as well as Gold and Silver, and it shares this trait with Latias and Gerda as well, they're all the same weight. Now moving on to looking at more stuff on Clefairy. As many of you will know, it's the Pokédoll item is based on Clefairy, as the design is pretty much exactly the same. And as many of you might know, Clefairy was originally going to be the official mascot of Pokemon, but Pikachu was used instead due to the popularity of the anime and Pikachu's familiarity with the fans. And to be fair, that's a better choice really. You know, if Clefairy was sort of the mascot for Pokemon, then I don't think it'd be as popular as it was today, because it doesn't quite appeal to the majority of viewers as Pikachu does. As Pikachu is both cute and cool, whereas Clefairy is just really pink for the start, and also pretty cute, not really cool at all. Now looking at some more stuff for Clefairy, with its moves really, its moves and its abilities, Clefairy is the only non-psychic type Pokemon to be able to have the ability Magic Guard. Now Magic Guard, if you didn't know, is an ability that was introduced in Generation 4, I think, was it 5? I'll check for you now guys, it's one of those generations, I can't quite remember, since I'm not quite up to date on abilities especially, but yeah, it's the only non-psychic type Pokemon to be able to have it, obviously including Cleffa and Clefable as well. It was introduced in Generation 4, and it prevents indirect damage, so for example weather conditions, leech seed, etc. So yeah, Clefairy, Clefable and Cleffa are the only normal type Pokemon that can actually have that ability. Next up, Clefairy is the only normal type Pokemon to be able to learn the move Cosmic Power. Now obviously that's because, you know, Clefairy is related to the moon and stuff, and Cosmic Power, if you know, is a psychic type move, so it's not too much of a surprise that Clefairy can't really have it. But the other Pokemon that learn it, for example Staryu, Lunatone Solrock, and then Deoxys Arceus, so, and then majority of those are related with sort of space anyway, so you can see why Clefairy would learn it, and well, see, Arceus can learn it, actually, as I've just said, but apparently can't learn it by leveling up, so it might be, you know, one of its hidden moves at the start, I guess you could say. But yeah, I can't find sort of any relation to why Arceus can't learn it, for example. Yeah, obviously it says it learns it at start, so I guess if you hack a level 1 in, it'll have that ability. Or that move, sorry, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Clefairy is the only normal type Pokemon to be able to learn Moonlight. Now, Moonlight is actually Umbreon's sort of signature move, I guess you could say. And some other Pokemon that learn it are, you know, Volbeat, Illumise, sorry, can't speak, and then Munna and Cresselia and stuff like that. So that's really why it's no surprise it can't learn it. Again, it's obviously related to the moon and stuff, and also it's the only normal type Pokemon to be able to learn Meteor Mash, which is a steel type move. The only other two Pokemon that can learn it by leveling up are Metang and Metagross, obviously because it's sort of their signature move, I guess you could say. And then Deoxys can learn it by an event, and then Generation 5 you can get Jirachi with it by an event again. but there was only some events there, so yeah, so it's only about 5 Pokemon that can actually have that move legally, I guess you could say. And despite the fact that Lucky Chant is an all-type move, Clefairy is the only all-type Pokemon to be able to learn it through Level Up. Now, if you didn't know what Lucky Chant is, again, it kind of, I believe it prevents critical hits on the user's party for 5 turns. And obviously by leveling up, Clefairy can learn it. Stuff like Ralts, and then up to Mesprit. Shaman was only able to learn it in Diamond and Pearl. And then Mashana as well. And by breeding, you can actually get Togepi, Castform, Pidove, or Dino knowing it as well as Togepi from an event. So, but leveling up, Clefairy is the only Pokemon to learn it via leveling up. Now, one really interesting thing I find here is that when Cleffa evolves into Clefairy, it gains claws, as you can see on the images here. However, when Clefairy evolves into Clefable, it loses its claws. So it's a bit of a strange sort of situation there. It has claws, doesn't have claws. Has claws, doesn't have claws. Or doesn't have, has, doesn't have. It's a bit strange, really. Yeah. So guys, I think that's all the trivia I have for you today. A fairly long episode actually, so I hope you enjoyed this. Leave your thoughts in the comments below on any of these trivia facts, and you could suggest other Pokemon for me to look at in some trivia episodes, some other evolution lines and stuff, I guess you could say. So guys, thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you next time. Remember to check out the last video and Phil and Tom's channel, and I'll be seeing you next time, guys. Bye.